Yo, 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 what's up? What's up? Welcome back to Black Men Vent, brought to you in part by IntellectualRadio.com. Feed your brain. Yes, and we're back once again. Hear ye, hear ye. We have some guests in the house tonight. We're just meeting them too. So can we get some introductions from you guys? You young lady at the end.
I am Chris, and I am the host of Candid Talk Radio every
Can
Thursday, 7 p.m., right here on IntellectualRadio.com.
and what is Candid Talk Radio? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Candid Talk Radio is just candid conversation about any type of topic that we want to talk about.
Anything?
Yeah, today was the little man penis syndrome. Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Did
that
you
was today.
did you have anybody here to represent?
They were afraid.
Uh-huh.
They were afraid. They were afraid to call in. They
Come
were
on in,
afraid.
David Ruff and everybody.
They were afraid for temptations. They were afraid for temptations.
We ain't nothing without David Ruff.
So yeah,
So-
Candid Talk. We just talk basically about whatever, sometimes relationships, sometimes businesses, sometimes whatever the topic could be. We just fly off the seat of our pants. Just Candid Talk.
Yeah, that's very good. Very candid, very honest.
I know there was a what's the little man penis syndrome? I don't know.
Yeah, what was the
What happens during the syndrome? I don't understand.
Well, if it's little
what is the
man,
conclusion, right?
if it's little, we were trying to figure out what it started off as the male side piece, and we were trying to figure out what was the qualifications for a male side piece, and the male side piece is normally the man with the the little member challenge that he has going
The
on.
male
So,
side piece?
yeah,
Is the member challenged one?
he's member challenge. So if he's member challenge,
I'm confused. That's new to me too. That's pretty good. Did you guys come up with that?
Member challenge.
No, I mean we had some people that was actually chiming in.
They were
on
chiming
Facebook
in.
Live.
They were like, call it the little man
Member
syndrome.
Actually,
Penis
Missy
challenge.
Elliott had a song, Minute Man.
The minute
She
man.
said member challenge in that song.
No, she didn't say member challenge or something.
That's
she
the
did.
part that I'm tripping on right there. That's
No,
that's
the
New
member challenge,
vocabulary.
yeah.
I've been
You
laughing
know, the
all
one
day.
that look like the sardines when you open the, not the sardines, when you open the Vienna sausages in the can, member challenge.
Do they really? Is it really like that? Some people.
I guess.
Yeah,
I
I've
don't
never
know.
experienced it, but
Yeah.
I've heard stories of it.
Lucky
So
you.
hey, lady, everybody, we're back here. We're on with Black Men Vent. Remember, we were talking about what could they possibly have to vent about.
right?
So we got three brothers in the studio. We're about to
Right.
find out why Black men vent.
All right. And you, madam.
I am Latasha. I'm the co-host of
Okay.
Candid Talk Radio. This is my cousin.
We're
Okay.
actually cousins, yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Where you guys from?
South Suburbs. I'm
South
from Dalton.
suburbs. All right. Yeah, we are too.
Okay.
So that's cool. Oh, so what was the I caught a lot of stuff for that. What was the conclusion that we came to? What's the solution to the memberly challenge?
They're just low self-esteem.
Low
They have
self-esteem.
no responsibilities and they don't mind being a side piece. Meaning that they don't have to bring nothing to the table.
Don't have to bring anything to the table at all.
I don't really okay. If you guys
Well, you know
say
how
The
so.
side pieces, whether they be the member challenge people
You can't
Or-
even get it out.
I've been laughing. Y'all can excuse me. I've been laughing all day.
See, let me clarify. We were talking about men with low self-esteem.
Mhm.
So it came back to us that men with the low self-esteem are normally the men are member challenged.
Oh.
So it's just that's the only thing, just member challenge people.
No.
Can you elaborate on member?
No, that's what I'm getting
I
to.
did. If you open up a can of Vienna sausages, then you have a member challenged man.
Okay.
Okay,
Women
so
syndrome.
on the flip side of that,
Mhm.
and we got to get done with introduction. This is gonna be a good show. But on the flip side of that, insecure women, what are they lacking physically?
Yeah.
Someone
Of
actually,
everything.
someone actually said, what did he say? The wolf package, what did he say?
Corroded
The wolf-
snatch.
The corroded
Corroded
snatch. Corroded snatch.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
corroded
Yeah.
snatch.
yes.
Sometimes it can end up being the side piece.
And so she becomes insecure because
I mean, you have a woman that's insecure about a lot of things. Her appearance, when it comes to
All
her
women are.
education, when it comes to the lack of love. I mean, women
know
have
what?
so many different things.
So none of it went to the member area.
Not for the corroded snatch for the woman and the member challenge for the man.
It's not necessarily corroded. Let me elaborate because I got into this conversation with a couple of women. And I tried to explain to them that because the majority of women think they have the best snatch on the planet, and there are a lot of bad ones.
That's probably why they corroded.
And here's a laundry list. Some of them are not warm.
They're not warm.
No, some of them are not warm.
Hey, how's that not warm?
Hey, it happens.
It's not warm.
Wait a minute.
It happens. Some of there. You as a man, you have a comparison. I mean, you.
Yeah, we just did the.
But
I mean, we know a comparison because we compare men just like men compare.
No, there's a warm one and there's a one that's like room temperature, and then you have the ones that's wide as this room.
That's the hallway.
That was the hallway. That's what we call the hallway.
Yeah.
The hall now is a little bit more like a train tunnel or something.
Oh wow. Okay. The train tunnel.
And then you have the ones that like to brag on the wetness, which turns out to be most men don't pay attention, because sometimes it's discharge. Because I
guess you guys got something to say about
they tend to, a lot of women tend to sleep with a bunch of men and like to brag on their hoo-ha. And I got the wettest, all that discharge. That's what that is.
Wow. Black man vent, ladies and gentlemen, black man vent.
And then you have the I'm gonna call it the cleaning product nose women that don't understand. Yeah, because you use too many cleaning products, you can burn the hair fibers in your nose, and you will not know that your hoo-ha has some type of odor.
Did he just? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let me just introduce this guy who's dropping.
I'm very versed in this area.
This is Big Country speaking to you right now.
Hey, Big Country.
How y'all doing?
He's the expert.
I'm versed. I'm very
if you
versed
want
in this
to
area.
get your stuff checked out, a diagnostic,
Yeah, I can diagnose.
Y'all need to contact Big Country if you want to get your stuff checked out.
On Black Men Vets.
I graduated. Yep.
And next in line we have Quest 07. How you feeling, man?
What's going on?
That's what's up, man. Having a good week? Cool.
Weather.
Nice weather, yeah. And also, I am Mr. Legend. Okay, and this is what we're gonna do tonight. First of all, we're gonna just go through the news right quick, and we have a couple of topics that we would love to hear what you guys have to say about it. Okay.
But can I say something before we get started?
Of course, man. Go ahead.
You know how you have crisis, statements or like it's an emergency type of situation. And I would like to let men know, because y'all already know how I am about men doing trimming and stuff. There's certain things as a man that you should not do or let anybody know that you do. And what I'm talking about here is bubble baths. You cannot, as a man, other than let your wife know that you take bubble baths. I mean, they feel good. I'm 6'5", so it's hard for me to take bath in anything. So it's just like lotion.
That's not manly.
No, you can no. You don't let people know that you be taking bubble baths and you get your selfie and you got the suds and you don't do that. You don't really do that. Okay. You really don't do that. So
does that?
That's a service alert, for everybody. Just in case you men don't know. I mean, get your bath on. Don't tell nobody. Make sure it's like people are out of the house. You got to, we got like a 3-hour window. People go out shopping, then you take your bath, and then you get out and you be normal when everybody come back. But don't, unless you in there with a woman, don't tell nobody you take bubble baths. Okay?
Do you take bubble baths?
Can I?
No. Do you?
He said he can fit the bathtub. He's 6'5".
Trust me, you'll find somewhere in there, right?
I mean, at my whole house, I had a tub. I can get in there, yeah.
Okay, now at that point in time, did you take bubble baths?
With the missus, yeah.
Okay. You took selfies too?
No, I don't do all that.
Okay, just checking.
I don't do all that.
Okay. Is that?
Black
yeah.
Okay.
That was his vent. Okay, we got that one. That was one of the vents.
Yeah, that was a service alert. I had to get that out.
Okay.
They call it an event.
No, that ain't an event. That's just a service alert for all men out there. Yeah, service alert. And be careful. When you put on lotion in front of people, because it can look a little suspect.
Okay.
as a man.
Suspect
Watch how
alert.
you put your lotion on. That's why they make the spray lotion, so you can look more, masculine.
Really?
Yeah.
This spray lotion?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like Vaseline.
Mhm.
okay, I'm learning a lot tonight. Sorry, guys. Okay, this week in the news, the top story.
That's my bad. That's my fault.
The top story. Well, the latest story is your girl, Black China, has confirmed that she is dating an 18-year-old rapper. How old is she? She's like 32.
Is she?
Is she in her 30s yet?
I don't know. She just trying to get her Amber Rose game on. That's all it is.
Well, who is this rapper? Does anybody know?
I have no clue. I gave up my I can't say it. But
So, what do you guys think about Black China as a person?
women like that? It's cool.
I have not really, honestly, I really have not paid Black China any kind of attention. I just, the gossip blogs of her and what's his name, the Kardashian boy.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
the same type of depth.
And then she was with the Kardashian sisters. She got a baby by one of the ones that was dating her.
Right,
Tiger.
right.
Yeah, Tiger.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Well,
She-
what
she-
happened was she was dating Rob Kardashian. Her ex-boyfriend Tiger was dating
One of the younger
Kylie.
sisters.
Was
baby
it I don't
girl.
know.
Yeah,
I
it was
don't
the
know. I don't
baby
watch
one.
it, but yeah. And they were both on the show together, and she had a baby with Rob, and then left him, finessed him real good. So
I mean, it was 2 weeks, but after the baby dropped, she was out.
Yeah.
right. So what do you guys think about that?
It's obvious.
Well, I think it's just the money come up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's the money come up. I mean, you got what you wanted, the baby. It's a package deal. You know, you're gonna take care of that kid.
Mhm.
It's a come up for her.
Wasn't she a stripper?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's
It's all about the money for her.
Yeah, I mean, yep. And we're really good. I'm over it all, honestly. And we've talked about this numerous times here at Black Event Radio. You would never see a woman who's doing exceptionally well for herself, whether she's famous or just doing good for herself, even without the fame. Take a guy serious, marry a guy, and really be proud to be with a man who doesn't own a car. A guy who still lives at home with his parents just off the fact that he's a great guy. He would never cheat on her, disrespect her, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's every single time it's a woman always dating a guy who's rich or equally wealthy. So it has nothing to do with love or chemistry or compatibility or whatever justification they want to throw out there. So I'm just over it all. At this point, it's a joke.
Yeah, I think that is disgusting. I'm upset.
People love to entertain it, man, every single time.
I'm upset that a lot of women did not condemn her or whatever. Nobody, no women were just like, that's her hustle, that's her. So I'm like, it's cool to bring in souls,
A whole human
and
being.
right, just for the purpose of money. We all should have been throwing up at that.
Then we complain about crime 10 years later.
Right. You know, I don't know what's going on in today's society, but when people can get away with stuff like that and not get a backlash from the village per se, that just gives them license to keep on. And I've seen people on social media kind of look up to her. Now this is a move that they can consider now. And just think about the child that she brought in during this, you know?
I don't think if necessarily people look up to her. From my understanding, I just think she's really an irrelevant person. She had the baby by him, and then I think I heard didn't we talk about something else? Her suing the family. She was suing Kim and
She was suing
because they took away the Rob and China show or something like that.
Yeah, she was suing them for
She actually tried to trademark the Kardashian name without being a Kardashian.
She is like a Tasmanian devil.
I mean, I hate all of these shows on TV with all these women, especially being that they're black women acting a fool. So she's relevant to a degree, to the point where little girls, I can be loose and be a stripper, and then I can still have nice stuff. So she's relevant to, to a bunch of people. Otherwise, nobody wouldn't be putting her a strip on TV to make them nobody's network some money. So she's relevant.
The younger generation, and this is one of those things that we can get back to those insecurities, is that the butt shots and implants for the breasts. If a female, once they look up to these bad B's, is what they call them,
Mm-hmm.
and because you hear in the raps and the young cats are like, I want me a bad B, I got a bad B, all in the and these women want to be just the bad B.
Yeah.
And they look at her making these moves now. Now this is a skill set that they avenue, a path that they can take. And that's why I was disgusted about it, because nobody said, no. Right. She's a whore. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I have a question.
Yeah.
Who set the tone for that?
Women.
No, men does.
How?
Because if you got the man on the rap tape, right, and he's saying this is what they got and this is what they want and this, that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore you looking at that little girl who's dead and who's not around, and all they have to do is look up to their mother. So where's the male role model at in that child's life? So
let me explain to you. Artists, they cater to society.
Right.
They make music based on what
sells.
Like Beyonce, for example.
Right.
Left to the left. She when you wanted to hear, she produced that song.
Exactly. Okay, so let's talk about in reality though. In the reality of in our today's houses, how many black men are missing?
Well, men no longer have a place in society. Whenever a black man especially steps up in society and tries to speak the truth, look what happens to him. Look what they did to Bill Cosby, right? So the last thing younger men want to do is replicate that, because masculinity is being attacked.
Okay, so where did it lose itself?
It lost itself.
For an example, look at BET. I don't even watch it anymore, but BET is all about empowering black women. It's all about black girls rock.
Right. So where did the men go? So
let me tell you where they went. You keep asking. Let me tell you. Yeah. The government did it to the men. You want to know why? Because they came up with Section 8. You can't have a man in your house.
I don't blame the government.
But I'm just saying that's where a lot of the black men got out of the family, because these women could not have them in the family.
Saying, but I don't blame the government. Everyone had the same option, but women of other races, they stuck with their men and their families. Black women made a choice.
I can't really say that that's true.
We're talking about the majority now.
Right, we're talking about the majority.
No, immigrants come here and they get public assistance as well. They get the same set of benefits that everybody in poverty.
The system has always been there. And as minorities, as black people in this country, we know the system has never been in our favor. We know our history here.
Correct.
So it's like if you and I are in slavery and we're dealing with these people who are doing all these inhuman things to us for however long in a day, how would you look at me if 50 years later I went to these same people, aka the system, and use them to strip you of your children? Use them to throw you in jail whenever you do or say something I don't like. So I don't blame the system. I blame the women who utilize the system to oppress men. So our place in the black community as black men, we've been outcasts, which is why so many black men go outside the race.
So you're saying it's the black woman's fault?
It's down.
Oh my God.
It's down. I mean, there was no.
Listen to this.
For an example, right? As a woman, nobody can tell you what to do with your body. Am I right or am I wrong?
My husband can.
Again, nobody can tell you. Your husband is legally can rape you. So that's a false statement. Nobody can tell you as a woman to do with your body. And we're not talking about opinions here. This is just fact. If any man does anything against your will as a woman, he goes to jail.
That goes back to that system.
This is by the letter of the law.
Right. The
system.
system.
No, not the system. If it's against your will, you have the right to utilize 911 to have that man arrested.
Correct. The law.
Hands down.
Right.
Case closed. Where's the do? So with that being said, as a woman, unless somebody raped you, forced you against your will, and held you in captivity for 9 months, however long it takes to produce a baby, that's the woman's decision. So when you look at society, you get the woman's decision. Now, when you have a society of women that are influenced by monetary value, cars, anything of value, whatever, jewelry, you name it. And these are the type of men that she becomes infatuated with, men who have these things. These are the type of men that she's going to flock with.
Okay, so why is she infatuated with these things?
Who knows?
She's been
However, if she chooses these type of men to mate with and date with, she's not choosing men of good character. She's just choosing men because they're financially stable or they're driven or have ambitions, blah, 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 whatever. So with that being said, when you look at society, you're looking at the woman's choice, right? How many children nowadays are conceived by marriage? Nobody's forcing these women to go out and have, in most cases, 2 or 3 or 4 kids by 2, 3 or 4 different men.
7.
How can you blame a man if a woman says, okay, fine, I'm going to lay down and have sex with you unprotected, but yet you have prostitutes that have been on the streets for 20 years that have never gotten pregnant. But you have non-prostitutional women that can't be responsible when they have all of these preventative measures for them as far as when it comes to children.
Yeah.
Men, we have the condom. Okay, if the condom breaks, I guess it's our fault now because she allowed Pookie, Ray Ray, or June June to sleep with her because she's obviously attracted to these type of men. We here at Black Men Vent, we know when a woman says, wow, you're single with no kids and blah, 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 that's rare. We know right away she does not approach men and how uneducated she is about men because there are plenty of men out here like that. She simply is referring to the men that she's attracted to, which are usually the low grade. If you go up to any piece of trash guy, ask him how many children does he have by how many different women. I guarantee you it's 2 or more. Guaranteed every single time. He got his pants hanging half down his butt. Can't put 2 words together, but I guarantee you he has a bunch of women chasing him.
Yeah.
So it's clearly on the woman. Clearly, because if any one of us approach any one of you right now, you have the option to say no. And you have the option to say yes to Pookie, Ray Ray, or June June. That's usually what happens, especially in the Black community.
Right. We could be the greatest men of all time. I could be sitting here, Martin Luther King, the second coming. But if women are not attracted to me, I can't do anything in her household. I can't do it. It doesn't matter. I don't exist. But if she thinks that Pookie or Ray Ray is more attractive to me, I don't have anything to do with that. So who does have the choice there? Women are the choosers. They have the choice. They make the fathers, they make the husbands. They say yes, because if we make you do that without your permission, it's called rape and we go to jail. So when we say it is the woman's fault, it is the woman's fault for her choice. Now, if they were sitting up here not looking at Black China, or they say like the new thing is the hoes are winning, you know. But you got to exactly look at what are the hoes winning. They're winning the biggest drug dealers and all of that, the richest guys or whatever. But when you look at good working men in the community, in society, period, they don't get any shine at all. It's lame. It's weakness. You know, it's like
turning into hate shaming. People getting fired for now starting to speak up about, you know, certain things when it comes to women. They're getting fired and women are calling it hate speech. So everything that a man does is looked down upon, it's criminalized. Yeah. As you can see right now with all of these women coming out of the woodwork, accusing all of these men of groping and then turning it into rape. That's a very strong word to do. And Bill Cosby, that he didn't rape 40 million women, and all of them lied. But you know, and then it's just, and then all of these men, it's been a bunch of men in the past few years that have been doing 20 some odd years for raping somebody, and come to find out he didn't do it. But I don't know. I don't never see that women's group that be standing outside the Planned Parenthood or the vegans, the animal rights people. I don't see no group of people standing up,
SJWs,
shaming any of these women for these false accusations, because there's actually women out here that get assaulted on a daily.
The real victims
that don't get no help, or there ain't no light shined on, or like college. 9 times out of 10, girls going to college, they're going to get either sexually assaulted or almost sexually assaulted from the statistics. So it's a bunch of women out here that just had to fall back in the shadows because all these, it's sad.
Yeah, that's a good point. And which is a huge issue in itself. Like, I thought for sure when the Bill Cosby accusers were found to be liars, like when they were, that we would see a protest of real women that have been really raped out in protest against these women who tried to extort rape for money. But we didn't see any accountability. So,
or children for money.
So it's to the point now where so much damage has been done that when you ask the question that how come men don't step up and say anything, because if we do, our lives are over. If any man steps out right now on national TV, whether he's an actor, artist, whatever, and he says, hey, and just tells the truth, if he's especially about women, his career is done.
Yep.
The very next day, if he comes and says women to be better wives, and men better to their children, just that alone, he's out of there.
They get mad at us for saying that they're the choosers. If a woman comes
out and says the opposite about men, I guarantee you she's going to get a round of applause.
Yeah.
And
I don't care. Slut walk. Have y'all seen the slut walk stuff?
Yeah, I don't care which way you flip it.
The slut walk that Amber Rose got going.
Yeah.
Got all these I'm
not into the media like that because
Yeah,
maybe I
me
be so
neither.
much in my own business, can take care of my own stuff, so I can
there's
get
a lot
it.
of stuff going
So
on.
I guess I can understand where you guys are coming from on that perspective, suggesting that we're probably the female version of you guys, because I can't see myself. If I have a friend, a sister, or anyone of the sort that's going into that direction of, what's the lady name?
Black China.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then therefore I'm going to have that conversation with them, because if I'm in that area, that's what's going to be around me. I'm not with that area. I don't have time to be sitting here trying to look at the media, trying to find out what's going on with the Kardashians. I got money to be made. So what happens to us women who actually, that's very independent, that's looking for a man like you guys, but we're not looked at because we're so independent.
Well, ain't nobody saying nothing, and then the whole independent thing, that's a complete turnoff. Because ain't nobody independent.
Right.
Can't nobody independently do anything. It was a motivational term that got blown out of context, and it's bad. It's a bad saying. I hate hearing it. I don't never remember any of my great aunts, grandmothers, great grandmother ever saying independent and strong nothing. So it's a complete turnoff. And then especially when you go outside the race and you don't hear nobody else saying nothing about a strong independent anything. But that's being
don't get me wrong.
that's the flag that's being marched across the battlefield.
I could see if there was a track record of
Successful.
things that were beneficial from this
independence, right?
Yeah, but then I can get down on it, but
it just benefits them.
It's just a saying. I don't even
Here's
think
the thing with me. If you look at every other culture, you will see that family is the most important thing.
Not to say that they don't have issues. Let's get that out there.
Oh yeah. But family is, like in the Latin community, mi familia, Russian family. The word family is very important. Okay. Now take a look at our women who celebrate being independent by themselves. We're supposed to be codependent on each other. I'm supposed to be able to depend on you and trust you, and vice versa, right?
Correct.
One hand washes the other. But here we have in society where we know that Black men in general have to deal with prejudice and racism, and maybe our professional opportunities are not as good as Black females. You guys graduate more than us with degrees. I think it was they're the most educated women, right? So instead of using that to lift us up, and we get ridiculed and teased, like he ain't got no job. Like that's been the running joke on sitcoms for like the last 30 years. Black man ain't got no job. What was Tommy doing? Tommy ain't got no job. Like everybody I know has a job, or if they don't, they're on their way to get another one.
But then I don't understand why
if he's a good guy,
jobs are celebrated anyway.
You could lose your job tomorrow.
Lose your job tomorrow, so it ain't really. I mean, if it's a motivational tool for you, okay, cool. But it's a job, especially nowadays in today's society. I rarely hear people say career because that's lost too. So
what type of women are y'all doing? I mean, I understand it.
I do have a question from one of the viewers, though.
Okay.
Let's go back because quite a few people had said something, but I didn't want to interrupt you guys.
No, it's men have to, especially Black men. I'll try to explain the toilet system real quick. At the bottom of you get a toilet. It's white predominantly, so let's call that the system.
Okay.
Everything else are the women. At the bottom of the toilet, underneath where the wax ring is, that's where Black men fall. We don't have nothing. We don't have rights as people already. Period. We're not even considered human by law. We don't have no rights. Black men, they the most feared, most everything. They criminal, just everything. We're at that bottom of the toilet. We're at the very last bottom. But with men just by default by birth or whatever, we just naturally adapt to our environments. Men approach a lot of women on the daily, so we get a lot of experience with different type of women on their behavior and all that stuff. So it's not necessarily sitting up watching what's going on in social media or whatever like that. You just, as a man, you pay attention to, so you can survive. It's like eating, so you pay attention to what's going on, and then if you have children, you should be paying attention to what they got going on and how the kids is dressing and all that stuff. So you see, and then you're listening to the music, and so you know what's going on. And then if you're up in the local taverns or whatever, like, you know, I'd be going to a couple places and everything, but you get to see how everybody move. And then, you know, you ride through neighborhoods, like on my way here. Roll through a neighborhood I ain't never seen. It's nice and quiet and stuff over there. And people walk outside of that neighborhood. They wouldn't know what's going on in Inglewood if they didn't turn on the news. So a lot of people don't understand. They don't get it because they stay in their little area. But as long as if everybody kept their area cool, everything would be cool. Mm-hmm. So I mean, you ain't gotta go over to Afghanistan to see how they live. If we kept our area cool, they kept their area cool, everybody kept their area cool, everything will be fine. But you have to understand about it the way it's a money thing. They started welfare reform to crush the black family, and women was just like, yeah, I ain't gotta have no dude in here. Let's turn up. I keep on having children. All right, I ain't gotta do nothing. It's women that's been on welfare for 30 years. There's no need for that.
That's sad.
There's no need for that.
It's the way of life. Yeah. What was the question?
Oh, Michelle. Sorry, Michelle. Took me a minute. She says, I don't know if she sent this, but she said that was a big general statement to state that women in society are seeking to take from a man. She said, did she misunderstand your comment? She said she's not sure.
Missing to take from a man. What?
I'm not sure where that was said at.
Here, let me explain it. Like last week, I don't know if everybody saw the Chris Rock comedy special on Netflix, but in the middle of that, he said that women, pets, and children are loved unconditionally. All right, men are only loved on the condition that they can provide something. Okay, so if we go back to caveman days, the man had to go and hunt and provide food.
Bring back the biggest piece of meat or whatever, otherwise the other caveman could take his woman.
Right. So, and then we bring that into today's. If the woman is the weaker sex, she cannot go out there and hunt as well as a man could. Okay, so they have to depend on men, right? So now when you bring it to today's society where women have a lot more opportunity, they don't have to depend on a good man to hunt because they can make money themselves. Okay, so what are they basing off their what are they basing their wants off of? Okay, is it a good guy with good character? Is it a guy with a lot of money? Is it a guy who, I don't know, what are they doing it? What are they basing it by now? So and speaking of on the general, we're always talking the majority. Okay, we're not saying it is always exceptions. It would be facetious to sit up here and say all of everybody. Okay. So, but the problem is the majority. The general problem is what we're talking about. Okay.
Brother Flood said that not all are at the table. If he feel that way, look at his inner being. Michelle says, interesting conversation. Regarding the jobs comment, I feel that they are key to the family. True. They are also key to individuals directly, male or female. This is a way of contributing to me. And if you have the ability to put into, why wouldn't you? And then they said that he put all females in the same pool. Hey, Adridra. And now there's too many comments.
Okay. All women are swimming. Okay, so if we're gonna put a pool, all women are swimming in the same water right now. They striving for some house, 6-figure salary, and all this hoo-ha stuff that ain't got nothing, can be burned down tomorrow.
But see, this is why I've been saying for a long time, it's over with. There is no coming back from this, because if we're shopping for a car, 80% of the cars at this particular dealership are bad. You're not going to shop there, right?
Right.
Obviously, nothing is in absolutes, like Legend just said, but you're not, who in their right mind is going to take their time to try to figure out what 20% of the cars are good instead of just going to another dealership? Right. Well, you don't have to deal with this problem. So when people make comments like that, not all and blah, 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 it's a complete waste of time. And you have to wonder, like where's the critical thinking skills here? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, look, nothing is in absolutes. We don't have to sit here and tell each other 1 + 1 = 2. We all know this already. Why do we have to sit down and pinpoint every last intangible as far as a general conception of what we're talking about? We obviously know, we all know this. We all have a different ideal or different perspective when it comes to the issues that we have in society, especially in the Black community. And we can sit here and talk about that all day long. But the common ground is we all know there's a problem.
I agree with that. There's a problem.
Regardless of what your main focus is, mine, yours, et cetera, et cetera. We all know there's a problem in all fairness. So why take away from the actual issue and sit here and try to pinpoint a red herring? And like, no, not all of this and that. It makes no sense. It's a waste of energy. It's a waste of effort. When regardless of what we're saying, cannot be refuted, because this is an obvious issue that we have in our community, and people need to stop with this whole politically correct crap.
I hate it.
Nobody's accountable.
I hate it. Because you can't say nothing to nobody no more.
Normally, when people say not all and you blanketing it, they're trying to clear themselves. They're trying to separate themselves. They know, they feel guilty. Yeah. If it didn't have anything to do with you, why would you make that type of statement? You know, and people are like, everybody who hears what we have to say, our logic. We've been doing this for 10 years, okay, and nobody's been able to prove us otherwise to be wrong, because it's just logic, it's just truth. Okay,
I think you definitely have a point there, especially when it comes to the women having the choices. I definitely agree with you with that.
A lot of people do not.
Yeah, I totally agree that women do have choices, right?
It's scary.
It's scary, but at the end of the day, like you said, that the facts are, you have to know your product, right? Like you said, you go on to the dealership, and 80% of these cars are bad. Who's going to take the time out to figure out that 20%, right? Now, or just go through the easier route. I don't have to deal with this. I'm just going to go where I know I can get a good car from, right? Yeah. Now, but all, like you said before, and I can agree, there's a lot of people that's damaged. It goes back to not the system, but it goes back to that upbringing. Like when you go back to your great-great-grandmother, things like that, the man was always around. Even when it comes to our family. Yeah. Our men, our uncles, and they was always around.
We've always had two household, all of
income.
Us. Yeah, we've always had the two-parent household.
And that is something that is majorly
I had that for 2 seconds.
But it was up to death do them part.
No, I get that part, and I really wish I could find that. But I grew up, my family is so huge. I had so much male influence because my family was so big, so I didn't miss it.
Right, so you didn't miss it. That's you. But when you, it's like a lot of families are geared from that, you know. So you get that young girl who actually, and I'm just maybe thinking of how she may have thought that she wants her dad, right? Dad came in, knew that mama got 10 kids, right? It still didn't stop him from going in there. He still was the choices, you know what I'm saying? That comes to that man choice as well, that woman choice. So at the heat of the moment, who's going to stop? Some people just don't.
The heat don't got to get there.
Right. The heat don't have to get there. But what I'm saying is the act took, right? So the act took, you know, got these 10 kids. Your decision was to leave. Right. So the man is no longer held accountable anymore because they're at the bottom of the pool.
Didn't I hit okay? You know how many dudes get locked up for not paying child support?
Right, that's just now. But before that law,
you know how many gifts women get from when they can't take care of their kids?
Exactly. But at the end of the day, it shouldn't have to be no gifts if the man just took their responsibilities. I'm just saying.
Here's the thing. Women look. This is your temple. Remember when I grew up, my body is my temple.
Exactly.
Right. So if you got 10 kids and you let Scumbag Joe come into your temple, you made that decision.
You made that decision.
Scumbag Joe is in every culture that you can ever think of.
Absolutely.
There's Egyptians over there that are Scumbag Joes.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Italians that are Scumbag Joes. You know. But here's the difference between those different cultures. The women do not like them. They don't go for them. The women, they want to cultivate and create family, so they pick a guy with character that they can get that through. Okay, if Scumbag Joe appeals to you, and you cannot go ahead, it's really backwards for you to have a baby with somebody and then expect them to be Bill Cosby or Cliff Huxtable. Okay, that's backwards. Okay, but then what we have today is a society of, or the last 2-3 generations of women who say it's not my fault, it's his fault.
It's Scumbag Joe's fault.
It's Scumbag Joe's fault. And we've been on this show arguing this point over and over with women who don't think that they're accountable for their choices.
We definitely are accountable for
We
our
come
choices.
from here. I'm gonna tell you why you believe that and why we all believe that. We come from 2-parent households. We know what family is.
Right.
There is a lot of us. They say right now 70 to 80% of Black children come from single parent households. And when before my mother remarried, it was survival. Okay, I didn't see, the family dynamics as much as everybody else was seeing before she got remarried. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand, when 2-parent household people come up with people who grew up in a single parent household, they don't understand the Cosby Show. That's fantasy to them.
Right.
And I don't understand Good Times.
Right.
James was mean. You see his nose? I turned the channel quick, man. That dude was on something,
we all grew up in a time where, I
So
remember
my father was James.
would make other women accountable. But in this day and age, I don't blame women for doing that anymore.
They used to run the whole out the neighborhood.
You may get attacked. Like if you come out and try to make other women accountable, they may literally jump on you.
They'll tell you hate yourself.
To me quite a bit though. I've had it happen to me. Yeah. Like I have a cousin and she has 4 kids by 4 different men. And her thing is always the man's fault. Yeah. Did they put a gun to your head until you lay down there with them and have a kid? Yeah. No. Right. That was a decision and choice that you made because you thought having this baby was going to keep this man.
Exactly.
So you turned around, that didn't work. You got another man having his baby was going to keep him.
So clearly, I can definitely say that when it comes to that particular young lady, woman, whatever you want to call it, scrum woman, whatever, it's like she's searching for something. It goes back to that core. You know what I'm saying? That's where that insecurity comes in at, right?
With this cousin, I say it's because she wasn't from a 2-parent household. That's on the other side.
Yeah, here's the thing. We've noticed a change, like children are like 10 times more likely to drop out, get pregnant, or end up in prison when they come from a single parent home. What I've found, or I've seen, my theory, what I've seen a lot is that women who come up in a single parent household and don't have that fatherly love, they don't know what it is to be loved by a man authentically, unconditionally. So they spend the rest of their lives trying to get attention from men. That's why they say they got daddy issues. And now men that grow up or boys that grow out of single parent households have their mother to look up at. And now you see a lot of feministic trends coming through with men.
Leotard.
Their masculinity, tapered pants. They almost did the romper thing last summer.
Yeah.
And it's not appalling because if you look at masculinity right now, it's kind of like villainized.
That ushered in the whole real man cliche.
So
man can wear pink.
I'll tell you a quick story. We run youth programs at my day job. Okay, I'm not Batman all the time. Okay, and we had to pay this one student the check, but he kept switching his bank account. All right, he went back, told his mom, "Can't get it. I gotta do this, and that." And she said, "You better be a man and go up there and get your money." So he went up there with a knife and threatened people to get his money because his mama told him that. Okay, and he wound up going to jail, and he's got a case now. Okay. So, that's bad. And so when you always hear about, women can raise a man or whatever, it's like, no, they can't. They can't. I mean, you could raise a good person. Okay. But the characteristics or tenets of being a man, they have to get from somewhere else.
It's organic.
Yeah. And most of the time now it's through media, through music, through movies or whatever the girls like, that's what they think a man is.
You wonder why little boys gangbang.
I mean, people talk about
because some girls want the bad boys.
No, little boys join gangs because of they get love that they miss out of the house.
Was it one? Right. Yeah, they want to belong.
That's why they join gangs.
Exactly. So therefore, they're searching for something, right? So therefore, once again, we're talking about the men insecurities, right? So therefore, they're searching for that love. They're searching for that motherly love. They're searching for all these, like you said, looking for the man to upbring, right? So you get a young boy that's attached to you. I'm pretty sure you're gonna pour and steer into them, right? So you're pouring into them, right? A lot of that is not being done these days.
Well, yeah, I don't know, because I feel the solution. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I feel like when you say that women can't raise boys, I got divorced from my first husband kind of young. So I had 2 boys. Neither one of my boys have been to jail. Both of my boys are college graduates. One is in school right now for his master's. They don't have issues. They don't have that daddy issue. Their daddy chose to not be a part of their life because I was in law school. I was doing what I had to do to ensure that my kids were okay.
So where did male influence come from?
I have 3 brothers, so they kind of was around them, but they weren't really around them. But it was just, like you said, a woman can't raise a man. But if I felt like I had an issue where they came to me for something that I couldn't help them with, it was, I always had to look at, either my brother or like guys I went to high school with that I'm really, really good friends with. Like we say we brothers and sisters, like they would come over and talk to them, or I would have them pick them up and talk to them, something like that.
Yeah,
but
I get what you're saying. I mean, you did the best you could as far as when it comes to that, but a woman would never know how it feels for a man to urinate.
No, absolutely.
And that's pretty much, like what we get, and vice versa. A man would never know how it feels when a woman has her cycle.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, again, my kids are both college graduates. I raised them.
Yeah, it takes 2.
It does take 2, but 2. I had to do it on my own.
What I found is that that you can raise a good person,
the morals and characteristics,
right?
Like you said.
But to be a great man, you need to get lessons from a great man, and that usually comes from your father and your grandfather.
Well, my father passed away when they were little, so.
Right, I'm just saying.
Usually
Generally,
you see the dynamics between your father and your mother, how they behave, so you will know how to go out, and when it's your time.
And also, when you grow up in a household like that, you see how men and women coexist and work together, and how the symbiosis contributes to a prosperous home. Okay.
Exactly.
If you don't have that, if you're sitting up here saying I'm independent, I don't need no man, okay, your children are gonna have problems with their relationships because they don't, like, I see a lot of females that don't want to submit to a man. They think that's a weakness or whatever, but they don't have any idea what submission is. It's not bowing down to somebody. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to get somebody who you trust, somebody who believes in God, and trust them to lead the family to prosperity. But they don't know that. Nobody knows that.
Yeah, that's a good point you touched on, Legend. I mean, the key component is when you have a man and a woman in the same house raising children is children, they look at the mom and dad and say, okay, this is how a man loves a woman, this is how a woman loves a man. That is the key component. When one of those elements are missing, you get a society like what we have right now.
I totally agree.
People talk about, what is the solution? What is the solution? We realized a while ago that people don't want the solution.
I just think that the solution is about changing your mindset. Changing the mindset.
No, there's some people that want things to stay exactly how they are.
Shaming has to come back to the plate at some, because ain't no shaming in nothing no more.
We live in a time now where people will tell you 1 + 1 = 5 because they don't like how.
Just because they feel like it.
Like they don't want the answer. They don't want the solution. It's kind of like when you're in a relationship with someone and the relationship is clearly dysfunctional, and you're telling this person, "Hey, we got some issues we need to resolve, or we're gonna self-destruct." This person is like, "I don't see anything wrong. Everything is good. Everything is okay."
That's exactly where we at.
They become a major contributor to the problem. Because you have a small window to deal with that situation before that situation starts to deal with you.
And call permanent
now, especially in our community, the situation is already dealing with us. We missed our window. And that's why it's to the point now where you can't, when you realize certain things and you become aware, and the more conscious you become, you also become alienated. That's the price we pay now, because you can't socialize with everybody. Because some people will look at you like, well, 1 + 1 = 2. That's just your truth. I agree with you to an extent. Really? This is what we're up against now. So it's like, what is the extent? People now, they suffer from so much cognitive dissonance and so much narcissism that even truth is becoming subjective.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're going to realize that, I'm wasting my time talking to these people. I'm not going to get anywhere.
Right. You haven't gotten anywhere.
Like, there is it's so much damage has been done. We are so far beyond the point of return. All you can do now is group with those who get it and take cover. And we know that there are women out there who do get it, but it sucks because in the Black culture, Black women don't approach Black men. So even if she is a woman who has all the ingredients, all the intangibles, she won't let us know she's interested anyway.
No. Right.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess, I don't know.
You may know 200 women who do, but what's 200 compared to 2 million who won't?
I mean, I definitely get it. Once again, it's just that we're not saying all, We just think it's a small population over here. We do
Right,
exist.
As
Just
always,
like I
yes.
realize that you guys exist.
All right.
Well,
So
Michelle
we gotta.
says she likes the conversation. I got 2 minutes. She says she likes the conversation. She wished that more people were on to provide input into the discussion. Having a good influence on both sides after internal or external is key.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, hey,
Thank you.
Marcella, Doris,
So,
Chris, Curtis.
if you guys want to see some more content from us, you can visit blackmanvent.com and make sure you message us. You can follow us on Twitter at blackmanvent and make sure you like our Facebook page at blackmanvent TV. All right. And I'd like to thank our guests again. What was your show? Candid Talk.
Candid
And
Talk
it comes
Radio
on when?
every Thursday at 7 p.m.
Nice. Thank you guys for coming on. And this is Blackman Vent, IntellectualRadio.com signing out.
Watch them
Peace.
bubble baths.
No bubble baths.
I'm definitely going to be following you guys. You guys are
All right, you guys. Thank you for tuning in to Black Man